Hi everyone, welcome to Inclusive Access. My name is Keisha and I'm going to be your host today while we examine this episode's topic in accessibility. Today's focus is going to be on paragraph formatting and line spacing. And I know they seem like fairly simple formatting considerations to be able to have their own episode, but trust me, they're very important to accessibility, and often when I'm remediating documents or helping someone create an accessible document, I discover that some of the techniques that they've been taught or some of the techniques that they use natively don't exactly get them the results that they're looking for. So I thought it might be helpful to include this video within the series to answer any formatting questions people have about how much space is appropriate, what settings they need to use, and how they can use the tools built into Microsoft Word to accomplish this. So without any delay, let's dive right in. I have here a file that I have created for the purpose of this episode, and it's just two randomly generated paragraphs using the lorem command in Microsoft Word. And if you'd like to use this document for practice, I have included it in the video's description. And you can follow along if you like, or if you would like to just sit back and watch and then practice later, that's fine. Now, one of the most common questions that I get when I help someone with a document for accessibility is how to create white space between two paragraphs in order to create a natural break between two sections. And while I'm not going to cover breaks in this episode, I will talk about creating genuine white space between two paragraphs within a section in order to make sure that a document reader or a screen reader completely ignores it. What I tend to see most often when I'm working on a document that has space between two paragraphs is I'll find that what looks like white space is not genuine white space. And what I mean by that is that it's not free of formatting cues. And what I find is that the document creator will place their cursor at the end of a paragraph, and then they will press the enter key as many times as they need in order to create the space they're looking for. However, that isn't genuine white space, because if we were to turn on the formatting features in the document by pressing this Show Hide Paragraph marking button, which can be found in the Home tab in your ribbon, we see that that space that's been generated between the two paragraphs isn't free of formatting cues. It has multiple paragraph markers. If we want true white space between these two paragraphs, we need to remove the paragraph markers that are already there and generate the space properly using the paragraph formatting tools right in Word. Let's remove the paragraph formatting markings from between these two document sections so that we can create genuine white space instead. Once you know where in your document you would like to generate the white space, place your cursor in the paragraph either before or after the white space. Then right-click on that paragraph and choose the paragraph option from the right-click menu. This will take you to the paragraph formatting properties window. Inside this window are all of the options that you need to format your paragraph, the line spacing, and the white space between two paragraphs in your document. Depending on which paragraph you've selected, go to the spacing section within this window and increase the amount of white space either before or after your selected paragraph. We're going to change the setting from 6 points to 42 points. Click OK, and you will see that white space is generated between the two sections. And there are no markings between these two paragraphs anymore, which means that there are no formatting cues for screen reader technology to pick up on. If that's not enough white space, you can right-click on that paragraph, choose the properties for paragraphs again, and continue to increase the amount of white space as much or as little as you like, until you get the desired effect. This is true white space. A screen reader is going to completely ignore the spacing between two paragraphs if it's formatted in this way, which means it will move effortlessly from one section to the next without interruption. So let's turn off the paragraph formatting and move on to the next topic within this episode. Just like creating genuine white space between sections is important, it's also important to remember that the amount of space between the lines of text within a paragraph can have a great impact on accessibility. WebAIM and WCAG both recommend a minimum of 1.5 line spacing for all the text within the body text of your document. To change that setting, right-click on the affected text that you would like to change. Choose Paragraph and change the line spacing option to a minimum of 1.5 or double spacing. I'm going to choose 1.5 line spacing and then click OK. That will change the amount of space between the lines of text for all of the text that I have highlighted in my document. It won't affect any content that I haven't highlighted, and that's important to note because this episode is all about making sure that specific content in your document can be modified without affecting other formatting. If you would like to know how to make broader changes in your document and change all of the text for certain parts of your document, please take a look at my tutorial on how to modify document styles. I will go into much more depth on how to change these settings to make a default setting and to create an accessible template. If you have any questions, please let me know by leaving a comment in the comment section below or by contacting me using the email in the description. But that's everything for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it and stay tuned for further episodes on document accessibility.